Everyone talks about success. Everyone talks about becoming your best self. But here's what almost no one tells you. There's a dark side to self-improvement. Behind every strong, disciplined, and successful person, there are sacrifices, struggles, and painful truths that most people never see. We live in a world that sells you a dream. Be positive, stay motivated, chase your goals, and everything will fall into place. But the reality is far harsher. True growth doesn't look like a perfect morning routine, smiling selfies at the gym, or motivational quotes on Instagram. True growth is uncomfortable. It's raw. It's lonely. It's the part of the journey that doesn't make it into the highlight reels. It's the part where you question yourself, lose people you thought would stay forever, and sacrifice more than you ever imagined, just to keep moving forward. And if you've ever wondered why so many people quit on themselves, why so many people start strong and then fade away, it's because they weren't ready for the darker side of self-improvement. They loved the idea of success, but they couldn't handle the reality behind it. That's why today, I want to reveal the 8 dark truths about becoming your best self, the painful realities that most people ignore, but that you must face if you want to rise above the crowd. Because here's the truth, becoming your best self is not about adding more. It's about losing comfort, losing illusions, losing the weaker version of you that's holding you back. This isn't going to be sugar-coated. It's not about hype or empty motivation. This is about the real process of transformation, the part that breaks you down before it builds you back stronger. So, if you're ready to face the reality behind success, let's begin. Truth number 1. Growth is painful. Growth is not a beautiful, polished, Instagram-ready process. It's not a motivational montage with upbeat music and quick results. Real growth is painful. It means tearing yourself away from the habits, the routines, and even the people that are holding you back. And here's the hard truth. Sometimes, those people are the very ones you love the most. When you decide to change, not everyone will clap for you. Some people will criticize you. Some will laugh at you. And others, even quietly, will resent you. Because your growth forces them to confront their own stagnation. You'll hear things like, "You've changed. Why are you so serious all the time? You think you're better than us?" But the truth is, you're not changing to be better than them. You're changing to be better than the person you were yesterday. And that process hurts. Because growth is a process of death and rebirth. You're letting old parts of you die, the procrastinator, the victim, the excuse maker, so that a stronger, sharper, more disciplined version of you can be born. Think about it. A snake must shed its skin to survive. A seed has to break apart before it can grow into a tree. A caterpillar has to dissolve inside the cocoon before it can fly. Growth always demands destruction. Something old has to be destroyed so something new can rise. And here's the part most people can't handle. It feels uncomfortable. It feels awkward. It feels wrong. Your mind will fight you. Your body will resist. Your friends may drift away. You'll question yourself every step of the way. But remember this. Pain is the cost of evolution. You cannot grow and remain the same. You cannot reach your highest potential while clinging to the comfort of your old life. So when it hurts, when it feels like you're losing more than you're gaining, don't run from it. Don't think you're doing something wrong. That pain is proof that you're in motion. That pain is the fire forging the stronger version of you. Growth is painful, but staying the same is deadly. Choose your pain wisely. Truth number 2. Discipline over motivation. Motivation is exciting. It feels good. It's that spark you get after watching a motivational video, listening to a powerful speech, or imagining your dream life. But here's the brutal truth. Motivation is temporary. It fades. It dies the moment life gets hard. And if you're depending on motivation alone, you'll never make it. Discipline is different. Discipline is what carries you when the excitement is gone. It's what gets you up when the alarm rings at 5 a.m., even though every cell in your body is screaming to stay in bed. It's what pushes you to the gym when your muscles are sore, when no one's watching, when there's no music, no hype, no applause. Motivation is about how you feel. Discipline is about what you do, regardless of how you feel. And here's the dark truth. Success is not built on bursts of energy. It's built on boring, repetitive, unglamorous routines. The workouts nobody sees, the late nights of studying, the lonely hours of practice, the countless repetitions of the same habit over and over again until it shapes you. Most people quit not because they lack potential, but because they confuse discipline with motivation. They wait to feel inspired. They wait until they're in the mood. But if you wait to feel ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Discipline means showing up whether you feel like it or not. And it's in those moments, the ones where you didn't want to do it, but you did anyway, that greatness is born. Think about it. Champions aren't made on the days they're motivated. Champions are made on the days they're exhausted, discouraged, uninspired, but they still show up. Discipline is the difference between those who dream of success and those who actually achieve it. So the next time motivation disappears, and it will, don't panic. Don't quit. That's your chance to step into the power of discipline. Because the truth is, success doesn't belong to the most motivated. It belongs to the most disciplined. Truth number 3. Loneliness is part of the journey. Here's something no one prepares you for. The path to becoming your best self is a lonely one. When you start chasing growth, when you start making sacrifices, when you start taking your life seriously, you'll notice something. The people around you won't always understand. Some will distance themselves because your discipline makes them uncomfortable. Some will mock you because your change reminds them of everything they're avoiding. And some, without saying a word, will simply drift away. It's painful. You'll look around and realize that not everyone who started with you is meant to finish with you. That the same friends who once partied with you, laughed with you, wasted time with you, might not be there when you're working late nights, hitting the gym at dawn, or chasing something bigger than yourself. And that's where most people break. Because loneliness feels heavy. It feels like something's wrong. But here's the truth. Loneliness isn't a sign you're lost. It's a sign you're growing. Think about it. Caterpillars don't transform into butterflies surrounded by a crowd. They go into the cocoon, alone. Seeds don't sprout in the spotlight. They grow in the dark, buried under soil, unseen by anyone. Your journey will feel the same. The most important transformations in your life will happen when nobody is watching. When you're sitting in silence, questioning yourself, wondering if it's worth it. But here's the beauty of loneliness. It strips away the noise. It forces you to face yourself, to hear your own voice, to find your own truth. When the crowd is gone, the only person left to rely on is you. And once you learn to stand alone, you become unshakable. So, if you ever feel isolated on this journey, don't see it as a punishment. See it as preparation. The loneliness is teaching you strength. It's teaching you independence. It's showing you that your worth doesn't come from the approval of others. It comes from the fire you carry inside. Yes, the journey is lonely, but that loneliness is the birthplace of greatness. Truth number 4. Success demands sacrifice. Here's a truth most people don't want to hear. You cannot have everything and still become your best self. Success demands sacrifice. We love the idea of balance, having the dream body, the successful business, the social life, the weekends of fun, endless free time, comfort and growth all at once. But the reality? Something has to go. If you want more time for your goals, you'll have to sacrifice comfort. If you want to build discipline, you'll have to sacrifice distractions. If you want greatness, you'll have to sacrifice being like everyone else. Success will cost you sleep. It will cost you entertainment. It will cost you comfort zones. It might even cost you relationships that no longer align with where you're going. And yes, that will hurt. Because when you choose to rise, you're saying goodbye to the easier version of life. The version where you fit in, where you coast along, where you never have to explain yourself. You're choosing the harder road, the one fewer people walk. But here's the paradox. Sacrifice doesn't actually take from you. It gives to you. Every time you give something up, you make space for something greater. Every time you sacrifice an hour of Netflix, you gain an hour of progress. Every time you sacrifice comfort, you gain strength. Every time you sacrifice a short-term pleasure, you gain long-term power. Think about the greats, athletes, artists, leaders, creators. Behind their success stories are years of sacrifices no one clapped for, no one posted about, no one celebrated. While others slept, they worked. While others partied, they practiced. While others stayed comfortable, they sacrificed. And that's why they rose. So let me be clear. You cannot reach your best self and hold on to everything at once. You must choose. Do you want comfort or do you want greatness? Do you want short-term pleasure or long-term power? Do you want to fit in or stand out? Because success isn't about what you're willing to do. It's about what you're willing to give up. And the truth is, most people never rise because they're not willing to pay the price. Truth number 5. Failure is the entry fee. Failure. Just the word itself makes most people uncomfortable. We've been trained to fear it, to avoid it, to see it as a sign that we're not good enough. But here's the reality. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is the entry fee to success. You cannot win without first losing. You cannot master without first fumbling. You cannot rise without first being broken down. Every champion, every leader, every creator you admire has one thing in common. They've failed more times than most people have even tried. But here's the painful truth. Most people never get far because they don't want to pay the price. They fail once, and they quit. They face rejection, and they stop. They get embarrassed, and they run back to comfort. But failure is the filter. It separates the dreamers from the doers. It exposes who actually wants it bad enough to keep going when everything in them wants to give up. Think about it. Thomas Edison failed over 1,000 times before he created the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots, lost nearly 300 games, and still became one of the greatest athletes in history. Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he created before coming back and changing the world. What do they all have in common? They didn't see failure as the end. They saw it as tuition, the price of learning, the cost of mastery. Yes, failure is humiliating. It hurts. It shakes your confidence. It makes you question if you're even on the right path. But every failure is also a step forward, because failure teaches you what success never could. Success whispers. Failure screams. It shows you your weaknesses. It reveals your blind spots. It forces you to adapt, to grow, to evolve. So don't run from failure. Expect it. Embrace it. Understand that every rejection, every loss, every embarrassing moment is simply proof that you're in the arena while others are still on the sidelines. Remember this: failure doesn't break you. Quitting does. Failure is not a wall. It's a doorway. And the only ones who walk through are those willing to pay the price. Truth number 6. Self-doubt never fully goes away. Here's a truth that might surprise you. No matter how much progress you make, no matter how many wins you stack, no matter how much success you achieve, self-doubt never fully disappears. We love to imagine that once we hit a certain level, once we make enough money, build enough muscle, earn enough recognition, that inner voice of insecurity will vanish. But it doesn't. In fact, sometimes it gets louder. The higher you climb, the more your mind whispers, "Am I really good enough? Do I actually deserve this? What if they find out I'm not as capable as they think?" Even the most successful people, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, battle with imposter syndrome. They look confident on the outside, but behind the scenes, they wrestle with the same questions, the same fears, the same doubts you do. And that's the dark truth. Self-doubt never goes away. You don't eliminate it. You learn to live with it. Because self-doubt isn't a sign you're weak. It's a sign you're human. It means you care. It means you're pushing into territory where you've never been before. And anytime you step into the unknown, your mind will resist. It will try to pull you back into safety. But here's the key. Courage isn't about never feeling doubt. Courage is about acting in spite of it. Think of a warrior before battle. They feel fear. They feel uncertainty. But they step forward anyway. That's what makes them warriors, and that's what makes you grow. Every time you move forward despite your doubt, you weaken its grip. You prove to yourself that you don't need to be 100% confident to take action. You just need to take the next step. So don't wait for self-doubt to disappear before you start. If you do, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, carry it with you. Let it ride shotgun. Look it in the face and say, "You can come along, but you're not driving." Remember this. Self-doubt is loudest right before your biggest breakthroughs. If you feel it, that means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Truth number 7. Progress feels invisible until it doesn't. Here's one of the most frustrating realities of self-growth. Most of the time, progress feels invisible. You'll wake up early, push yourself through workouts, grind in silence, sacrifice nights out, read the books, practice the skills. And yet when you look in the mirror, nothing seems to have changed. You'll ask yourself, why am I even doing this? Why am I suffering for so little reward? And that's the moment where most people quit, because they can't see the results yet. But here's the truth. Growth doesn't happen in loud, dramatic bursts. It happens quietly, silently, in the background, stacking little by little while you don't even notice it. It's like watching a tree grow. If you stand there staring at it every day, it looks the same. No movement, no progress. But come back months or years later, and it's taller, stronger, unshakable. Or think of water dripping onto stone. 1 drop does nothing. 10 drops do nothing. 100 drops? Still nothing. But over years, the stone is shaped, carved, and transformed, not by force, but by persistence. That's how your progress works. It compounds invisibly, day after day, habit after habit, repetition after repetition. And then, suddenly, one day, you wake up and realize you're not the same person anymore. The discipline is natural, the strength is real, the confidence radiates. And that's when people will call you an overnight success. They'll say you got lucky. They'll act like it just happened out of nowhere. But you'll know the truth. It wasn't overnight. It was every single invisible day where you refused to quit, even when you couldn't see the payoff. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like nothing's changing, don't let that discourage you. The work is working, even when you can't see it. Progress is like the sunrise. For a long time, the sky is dark. Nothing seems to happen. But then, in one moment, the light breaks through, and everything changes. Your breakthrough is coming. Keep going. Truth number 8. There's no final form. One of the biggest lies in self-improvement is that there's a finish line, that one day you'll finally arrive, perfectly disciplined, perfectly confident, perfectly successful, with no more struggles, no more fears, no more battles. But the dark truth is this: there is no final form. No matter how far you go, there's always another level, another challenge, another mountain, another version of yourself waiting to be built. And that's why so many people burn out or give up. They thought they'd reach a point where it all got easy, where they could stop pushing, where they could relax and stay on top forever. But the moment you think you've made it, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you start dying. Life isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about constant transformation. Think about it. The strongest warriors, the greatest leaders, the most successful creators never stopped evolving. They never said, "I'm done, I've arrived." They kept learning. They kept adapting. They kept reinventing themselves again and again. Because becoming your best self isn't about reaching perfection. It's about committing to endless evolution. Yes, that means you'll never be finished. But it also means you'll never be trapped. You'll always have the power to improve, to sharpen, to rise higher. And here's the beauty of it: the journey itself becomes the reward. The struggle, the sacrifices, the failures, the growth, it all becomes part of the adventure. So stop searching for a final form. Stop waiting for the day when everything feels perfect. Instead, fall in love with the process, with the climb, with the never-ending pursuit of the next version of you. Because your best self isn't a destination, it's a decision, a daily choice to keep rising no matter how far you've already come. So now you know the reality. The journey to becoming your best self is not a straight path. It's not easy, it's not glamorous, and it's not something everyone will understand. It's painful. It's lonely. It's filled with sacrifices, failures, doubts, and invisible progress. And if you were looking for shortcuts, easy answers, or instant results, you won't find them here. But here's the truth that matters most. All of that pain, all of that struggle, all of those dark truths, they are not here to break you. They are here to shape you. Because the person you are right now is not yet capable of holding the life you dream of. You must be forged in fire, tested by challenge, and refined by sacrifice before you rise into that version of yourself. So, face the darkness. Walk through the pain. Embrace the challenges no one else dares to face, because on the other side of these truths is the strongest, most unstoppable version of you. If this video spoke to you, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need the reminder today. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep walking your path. Thanks for watching.